What's up, my dudes? Got us a little bit of Whiplash action made by Dirt Twister, I think it's who it's made by. Okay, see if we can get some Whiplash real quick here, boys. All right. Oh, my scrub daddies. Holy. So I think this is actually like a motocross track, but I have to figure out which way I'm going first. Okay, I like that. There's something cool about these like free ridey motocrossy style. Oh my god, that was big. That was Big Daddy. That was Big Daddy Hossin. So I need to get in this camera, figure out where the hell I'm going first. Okay. Obviously this is more of a free ride type track, it seems like, anyways. It's kind of like a motocross track, but it's like a lot of free ridey jump elements to it and stuff. It's like a motocross free ride hybrid type track thing here, which is, it's cool to see stuff like that. It's cool to see, something different you don't see every day. It's kind of just looks like could be like some, I don't know, I'm like doing some theory crafting here. Could be like some cool abandoned, AMA national track, or it could be some cool, like, if some apocalypse happened, it's like some cool, abandoned, backyard national track in the apocalypse. I don't know, something like that, right? Kind of gives you some cool little vibes like that. I still don't really know if I'm going the quote-unquote right way. I don't know. Yeah, that definitely seems extreme. Peak landings there. I think it goes this way. Pretty sure, but like, look at, I don't know, there's something fascinating. I've always said this about, like people's first, second, third, fourth, fifth, people's like first 10 different tracks that they make in some of these different motocross games, just because people aren't scared, and it's almost like they don't necessarily have the understanding of the track editor yet, to the point to where you get all these cool little super unique type sections and just random cool stuff that you don't see every day on those dudes that have made 10,000 different tracks and everything's just so clean cut and perfectly made, right? It's definitely interesting to see these tracks that are kind of one of a kind, unique. It definitely makes a unique feeling to something when you get stuff that's, when people aren't so scared of a negative opinion about it, right? You can tell they didn't try so hard to correct every little mistake. Sometimes you make happy accidents, okay? You don't want to get rid of those, right? A little bit of Bob Ross action. Sometimes when track making, I've learned this with my tracks on MX Simulator and shit. Sometimes I've left some accidents that I shouldn't have left. Sometimes I've, went in there and overcorrected something really cool that I made on a track, and then it's like, damn, it lost its whatever that personality that section had, or that cool, unique, random thing I just built with the terrain. Sometimes you try to go in there and you overcorrect it, and you try to make it too clean cut, too perfect, and then it loses the character of the track. So you got to be real careful of that. But like this track right here's got all kinds of character to it, It may not be the most flashy track or the most realistic track or the most whatever. When it comes to character and something that's unique, this is it, dog, I'm guessing this is, more like this dude's first track or something like that. That's why he doesn't have a whole lot of objects or anything like that. And obviously he's kind of where he's painted some of the, some of the decals are kind of off where they should be, and little stuff like that. But like, I don't know, it's just, a lot of track reviewers would come in here and be like, oh, this is a 1 out of 10. This track sucks. What is this? Get better at track making or whatever. But I don't even look at it like that. It's one thing if you've made like 15 tracks and you're going in there and making something that is like, I don't know how to explain it. Like you're trying to make something that's really clean cut and correct and everything, but it ends up not really being all that great. That's a whole different story than somebody's like track like this where it's like they obviously just went in there and had fun, built some terrain, and just made something. You know, it's not, you can tell the dude not really giving a shit about trying to make it too exacto or, you know, too replica or anything like that. He just made a fun track. He just made a cool track. Like, that's all there is to it. I'm not going to sit here and say this track's 10 out of 10, fucking obviously, but, like, you see what I'm saying. There's definitely positives to take out of cool stuff like this. I don't know. There's just something always catches my eye about somebody's, like, first 5 tracks they make in a motocross game or first 10 tracks. And if you go back and look at some of my first, like, 10 tracks that I made, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about on MX Simulator, I'm saying. Like my Venus motocross track. If you go look at some of that, there's so many unique sections on that I just could not even think about replicating nowadays, right? It's just so, like, the opposite of clean-cut, everyday sections, just, like, so crazy, different, cool, unique stuff, right? So that's a big thing to some of you track makers. Don't focus so hard on trying to get that positive opinion on your, you know, your exacto JGMX style, whatever. That's not what it's all about, dog. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people get caught up in that, and then they get to the point where that's all they ever make is like a JGMX style track, everyday exacto jumps, exacto duplicated sections, and your track just starts to look like everybody else's track and feel like everybody else's track. It loses all character. You know, you got to be real careful of doing that as a track maker. So, just warning some of you guys. I ain't even talking about biomes when I say that. Pretty much all motocross track makers, or other than me, have very, very similar biomes, right? I've been one of the biggest track makers that have actually tried to push that aspect of, you know, motocross custom track creation. I would say more than any other track maker when it comes to the crazy off tracks and the crazy different biomes that you've never imagined. I'm the dude for that, like, period. Like, straight up. You could even almost say that as far as crazy different on tracks too, but yeah, there has been the occasional dude that's made some cool, you know, wild off track that you never expected or whatever. There definitely has been, but I don't think there's been any of them that's done it to the extent that I've done it, right? A lot of people kind of get caught up in that, trying to make a realistic woodland track, and then they just, I don't know, they don't really make a whole lot else. They might make a desert track or something every once in a while, or, you know, something like that. Maybe a snow track, like, oh, that's really pushing it, dog, you know? Maybe they'll make a snow track, but you don't see a whole lot of people making space tracks, moon tracks, trippy tracks, dimensional tracks, ski slopes tracks, tropical rainforest trail tracks. The list goes on and on. I mean, I just about done it all, right? You don't see a whole lot of that, so it is cool to, even though, yeah, this track is super bare, super basic, not a lot of objects, crazy terrain, there is still somewhat of a cool feeling to it, you know? I don't know, even some MX Simulator tracks that are made kind of like this can be really cool sometimes, depending on how unique and free they got with the terrain building, right? That's what it all depends on when it comes to a track like this. But, yeah, either way, I'm going to give this thing like a, damn, I don't even know, like a 7 overall, I guess, where I'd probably put it. Definitely just a whole different kind of track than your everyday standard track, so it's kind of hard to compare it. But difficulty, easy, I guess. There's not a whole lot to it, really, as far as jump rhythms or anything like that, but there's just something cool about it. And then you can just kind of go off-road and start free riding, hitting some of these other jumps and stuff. Yeah, this dude probably whipped this thing up in, like, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour. I don't know how hard the track editor is to use, but I couldn't imagine this would have took that long. But I give this thing a 7 overall. It's probably more like a 6, right? Something like that, 5 or a 6. But, some people would have gave this literally a 1 out of 10. But I don't know. There's just something interesting about it. Something kind of sci-fi book cover, I don't know. Something just kind of apocalyptic, abandoned motocross, cool, big-ass jump, free ride motocross track or something, right? So, either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.